Hi, it's Nancy, welcoming you to Garden Scroll. I've been waiting on our expected rain and gathering seeds. My little profusion zinnias look fresher and prettier with the old dead ones off, and now I have seeds for next year, still more seeds for next year. But I'm still waiting on that rain, and we're getting way more sunshine than we are rain. I hope it will still come, but so far we've only got a very small splatter. I also got my hanging baskets of Purple Heart Wandering Jew this far. So I'm planning on getting those ready to take in today also. I want to gather in some of my seed, even from my coleus, even though I much prefer to just buy a coleus and have it already started for me. But if I can't find them, it would be nice to know that I can try starting them from seed. The redhead coleuses are usually pretty easy to find in the spring. But I did go one year without a redhead coleus in the garden, and I sure did miss it. A lot of the places where zinnias succumb to the elements, and I went ahead and took them out, are bare, not here, but this gives me an idea to put some little coleus in. If it doesn't go ahead and get too cold for them too fast, we'll have time to enjoy them for a while. If I knew it was going to go ahead and just get too cold for them to live too quickly, I would not spend all that time on them, but I don't know that, so that makes me think maybe I should. But for one thing, we've got to get rid of this heat and get some water first. When I started gardening, I thought I do not want to do vegetables because they all come on at once, and you have to be prepared to take care of them or sell them or do something with them because they won't last long. And I didn't think flowers would be as hard, and I don't think they're quite as hard, but there are many things that you have to do, like right now, whenever it's season to be done is. So it's still, you can't quite get from heat to cold because you don't know when the heat's going to quit and when the cold's going to come, or vice versa in the spring. My little pyramid is finally pretty much filled out. It could still use a few little things there, but just look at this beautiful strawberry drop coleus. It's looking great. And I'm going to get a few more of these. I have the golden yellow and the more lemon yellow, and these are pink. You can hardly tell because they're pretty much spent, but that's just what I needed, was a few more of the pink profusion zinnias. So these are also pink, and they need to be taken off of there. So that's my next little job. But I wanted to show you I have some of the double orange profusion zinnias. So I want to put these in a separate container or envelope so that I'll have a special place for these next year. And where I tried to start some more dianthus because it looked so good on this side, and it started out looking good on this side, but I couldn't figure out what was causing the problem until it came on down here farther where I walk, and there's a mole or vole or something underneath these pretty little plants that are making them ugly, dying little plants. I am not fond of voles or any rodents that I know of. Actually, okay, I kind of do like squirrels. I know not very many people do. They're just a little childhood thing. I think I've told you before that my dad used to say, "Look, sister," and he would point the squirrels out to me as they ran up the trees. So I think I'm about finished with this job. Maybe not quite. But I found some large zinnias too, or the tall zinnia, so couldn't resist. Look, this is beautiful form, and this, look at this color, isn't it gorgeous? I think this little pot is beginning to shine finally. It took it a while, but it's starting to look gorgeous. I wish it still had some bright, pretty purple vinca in the back part of it on both sides, but it's still looking good this morning. I heard a joke this morning. Why are chickens so funny? Bok bok caws. And now I'm reminded of another joke, one that my brother Willie told me. What did the clown say to the doctor? Doc, I'm feeling funny. Remember when I clipped this back and I thought, I don't know if it'll help it, and I don't know if it'll ever bloom again, but look at this gorgeous bloom this morning. So pretty. I was just fixing to say, oh look, I have a bloom. A bud, soon to be a bloom, but this little bud now will never get to be a bloom because it broke off when I tried to wrap it around this little tomato cage. Maybe I can still get it around there. Maybe it'll still put on a bloom for me later. And we do have one up here that's fixing to bloom. Definitely want to get some little clippings of this to take inside over winter and hopefully have several of these next year. I had them in the garden for several years. You can look back and see them in the pictures and the posts from previous years, but then finally they didn't make it through the winter or when they came back out. But either way, they were gone for a while, but they're back again, and hopefully to be here for quite some years in the future. And we're getting our rain. The pickup bed is getting full again, and it's mostly the foliage of the peonies. And I think I have all, unless I missed one or two, but I think I have all of them in the back and in the front, except for my back fence row, where actually probably the most of them are. So I hope to get that done today too, but I'm going to have to take a little break. And the peonies are good sized little bushy plants, so they do leave quite a bare spot in the garden when I'm used to seeing them here. But I'm glad that I've got them taken out. They're just so much easier to do while they're green than when they turn brown, and then that stem is just really hard to cut. And this is the row that I still lack, and I won't get the daylilies or any of this right now, but I will get the peonies. Some of them really look bad. They got scorched in the summer's heat, and some of them just look more nipped than scorched. So, but I'm planning on hopefully getting these done. If I don't get back out here today, I will try again tomorrow, but I'm hoping to get it today. And I found a few more of my favorite zinnias, the ones that have the extra color of a halo underneath their little yellow flowered halo. I also love the big ones, but these are sort of small, not small, but at least normal size, and they're still very eye-catching. Today is October the 6th, and it's a beautiful, beautiful day, but I'm all whiny. I'm all whiny because it's supposed to, fall is coming in, and I've been so anxiously awaiting it, but it's coming in today, and it's supposed to come in with a strong winds and temperatures down to 41 or 43. I hope they miss that part, because as I'm looking at this beautiful little Hurricane Jenny, This little Hurricane Jenny Coleus. Look how beautiful it is. And we're supposed to have some nice weather after this little cold front gets by, so I don't want to take this out right now, but I may need to come out and at least clip a few, because these little coleuses, while they can handle that summer's heat, they cannot handle winter's cold. They will succumb before it reaches 32 degrees or freezing temperatures. But I'm going to hope that the 40s they'll still be here. I'm not going to take all of them in that I want, I know, but I will take a few of them in, I think. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to have time today to even do that, but, you know, they say you can make time, but I've discussed that with you. I don't believe anybody but God can make time. We can prioritize the best we can, but if we just totally have more to do than we can get done in an amount, well, an allotted amount of time, we're just not going to get it all done. But I am very much hoping that I will come out here for days to come yet before the freeze gets everything, and we'll actually get to enjoy it, because, you know, so far I haven't really had any just free days to just really enjoy the garden, because I've been either working in it or else the heat has been so intense that it's keeping me from working in it, even though it probably needed it. But I just want so much to get to just enjoy the garden. That just sounds like wonderful, to come out and just look around and take pictures and plan for next year. And I see here's another thing that I have not taken in, and that's this beautiful little dew plant. And my little coleus clippings that I put in there have not really had a chance to take off and go. The ones on either side of this little angel did form a root. They're ready to go, but they need some time to go. And then my other ones that I put in front, you can see a little piece of one there lived, but it's scraggly, and the rest of them have died. So I was hoping we'd have enough beautiful weather that I could start some more there and get to enjoy those. It could still happen, but we'll have to wait and see now. We've just got to get over these next few really cold days and hope that we really get fall and not just go straight into winter. The pretty little white tufts of the white chocolate snake root are really looking good today. These little coleus would be perfect to take inside because they have a long stem and they start stem rot from the bottom up, and you can just clip the rotten part off and let them go again. And I want to do that, but I want to leave them there until later in the season and be able to enjoy them in the garden longer. But we'll see what will happen. If they get too cold, they'll just curl up and be black all around the edges at least. So I may take just like one of them in. I'm not sure what I'll do yet. And this little vine is another thing I'm not sure what to do with. It's so beautiful right now, but it's coming in. It's going to come in early this afternoon. So gosh, I wish it would come in. I'm grateful for cooler weather, but I wish it wouldn't be quite so cold, so I wouldn't be wondering, well, what to do, because I think I'm still hoping that this may put on a bloom before I have to bring it in, and I do want to bring it in because it's not cold hardy, and I'm hoping to be able to save the root, bring it back out next year, and hopefully show you a beautiful bloom from it in the 2024 gardening season. Those grasshoppers seem to never quit, but they may quit today too, somewhat. And I'm not very good with my geraniums, keeping those through the winter too, but I may just have to try a few of them. Too beautiful to just let them die without trying. And unless you're a gardener, you may be thinking like one of my friends that I used to work with was thinking when they said, well, why are you so concerned about keeping it a while longer? Because if this freeze doesn't get it, the next one will. It's not going to be far away. Winter is coming. But let me kind of clear that up for you if you think like that. Because for the gardener, she or he or I'll just put it personal here, I have not had time to enjoy the garden because I'm always working in the garden. Of course, I've already explained that to you. But after this little cold spell, we're supposed to have several days or maybe even weeks of beautiful weather, and that's what I've been holding out for all summer long. So I want to get to enjoy that time, and I don't blame any gardener that puts all that work in for holding on to get to enjoy some of that beautiful weather when it comes along finally. I would even like to get some of these little trailing coleuses, this dark coleus, because there's always a place where you need a trailing coleus, and this would just be perfect. And of course the stained glass coleus is totally one of my favorites. I want some of that. I certainly do not want to lose all this. So the smart thing would probably be to just go ahead and bring it in. But sometimes I'm just going to let the wish of my heart take over and the lack of time to do anything much different. So I'm going to hope it's here. I did give it some water, and also it has the advantage of being all clustered together like this, because I've heard that that helps them to stay warmer too. So here's a prayer that please, Lord, let them make it through and help me to have some wonderful time in the garden where I can just enjoy it, and hopefully where I can show it to you. Look how bright and beautiful this coleus is. That's how pretty and bright these coleus were before the summer's heat bleached them out. And did I show you that I was right about putting them in a pot being a great way to keep the Solidago goldenrod? I thought it wasn't earlier on in the season because it died. It died to the root, and I clipped it back to the root, and all this has come back. More mums are opening. Look at these. They're called quilled mums. Don't they have a pretty bloom? And then these are blooming also, looking good. It could be only a few days before all the beautiful color in the garden is gone, but it could be a few weeks that we could enjoy it. That would be my choice. Of course, I'll go with what God gives me. Even when I don't understand, I'm pretty sure He's got it, and He's smart. I know He's smarter than I am, so His way is always good. And I'm still thinking it would be great if we even had time to move some of these coleuses around and put them in different places that are kind of bare, and they could get their root down good and look pretty too before it all goes away. If we only had time, there will be a lot more beauty in the garden, but we have to live with the fact that it may not last much longer either. Thank you, God, for these beautiful moments. And thank you for cameras that snap a picture that can last even when the gardens are gone. The autumn joy sedum is really pretty. I think perhaps the brilliant, which is a pink sedum, is maybe my favorite. And this is my new one for this season, and it's called Autumn Fire, and I'm anxious to see what it will do and how bright it will get. And this is a smaller sedum that I have here in this pot, but it also has a beautiful little, between rosy pink and a purple, kind of a mauve color bloom. Of course, the pretty white sedum still can't really be beat either, and I'm thinking that my white is kind of playing out on me, so I need to make sure I get some little started in another pot so I can keep this color in my garden also. You know, I just want all the colors. The cool winds are coming in. Please be sure to like and to subscribe to the channel.